Poison Ivy wins.
The first buff Ivy received was a hit region change to her down 1 pre-patch. If Harley did down 1 into her tantrum stance, if Ivy tried to do down 1, it used to go under tantrum stance and not hit her at all, so Ivy had to respect it, but now she doesn't. And also on the down 1, they increased the cancel advantage, so now she can do down 1 into Vine Drill and extend for combos. So that way she's able to punish people easier, get a full combo. And she can also do down 1 into the first option of Deter Hammer, which is 1, the little straight Deter string. And that's really it for the down 1. They also decreased the block advantage from -6 to -4 on down 1, and they also decreased the block advantage on down 2 from -14, I believe, to -7 now. So that's great. I don't get why it was punishable to begin with. That was dumb. Next, they gave an option for Ivy to meter burn her new wake up or whatever. It's not really a wake up. Bitey Bash, and it's +7 on block now. But you can still backdash it at any point, so really, here's a plus. Not downplaying, just a fact. And also, I mean, now Ivy has a way to keep her for being plus, like as she did her little 2-1-3, which is plus to down 1 into Bitey Bash. Now she can make it plus and continue her plus pressure. And yeah, that's really it. The next buff, well, fix, it's not a buff because it shouldn't have happened to begin with, was her meter burn deter. Now they increased the block stun on like the first 4 hits, so now you can't backdash in the middle of it, which is weird because when I was testing it out, Harley was able to backdash depending on how far away she was from Ivy. Like if she was like close to Ivy, she would be able to backdash in the middle of it like pre-patch and still be able to punish Ivy, but if she was somewhat far away, she couldn't backdash at all in between the gaps. So the frame data is kind of weird on it because she's still able to backdash depending on how far away she is from Ivy. The next buff they finally did for Ivy was buff Bed of Thorns. It now does more damage, and sometimes it looks like it has a bigger hit region, like a bigger size, but I don't know. And they also made it to where if you jump, you take damage. So it's really still not that great, but it could be good in the corner. And yeah. And the last buff she received was, they didn't say in the patch, was that Nightshade no longer interrupts throws or like throw strings, like her back to down 2 throw or her regular her kiss. Okay, I'm gonna first start off this little discussion about Ivy's buff. Personally, I don't know where this conception of Ivy being top 5 after all these buffs she's receiving came about. I mean, maybe it's because she got numerous buffs that they believe her rank on the tier list changed, but honestly, in my opinion, she didn't move too far. Maybe she moved up a couple slots, like maybe 3 slots, I don't really know. But although I think, her buffs are good, yeah, they made her easier to like be able to fight against people, but it really didn't change her matchups. Her down one hit region changing, yes, that was a great buff. So now her down one doesn't whiff when you try to punish something like Harley's down one into Tampa stance, which wasn't punishable before. Her down one now comboing into Vine Drill. Yeah, that's amazing. Yes, she can now punish easier instead of trying to combo like punish her back two or 1-2-1-2-1-3 because that's a high to begin with. So it definitely made it easier for her to punish people. Yeah, that's a great buff. Her meter burn, bitey bash. Yeah, I guess that's the main reason why people think she's top 5 now, because she now has a +7 move, but at the same time you can just backdash it. I don't know if people know that yet or knew that before, but yeah, they can what was I saying? Yeah, you can backdash it, and yeah, although it may be +7, not a lot of people don't respect it and they get hit by it. And although that may be a good like thing to do against like Flash, like, because it is a full screen knockback, but at the same time, if you try to do it against like a zoning character like Starfire and she gets hit by it, all that may be good against Flash because you're getting him out your face, but now you just put Starfire back into her zoning trying to be plus. And I'm not saying like, oh, it shouldn't knock back full screen, but at the same time it was kind of a buff and a nerf. Not nerf, but it didn't help her against zoning type characters if they get hit by it, because now she has to chase them down again. Anyway, what other thing did they fix? Her down one is no longer -6. I don't get why it was that negative to begin with. It's now -4. Her down 2, which is 16 frames, used to be like -14. It used to be punishable, but now it's -7. Thank God, because I don't get why the slowest startup on a down 2 is the most punishable in the game. Doesn't make sense. Her Datura Hammer meter burn, that was mainly a fix. You should not be able to backdash it, but at the same time, they really didn't fix it because you can still backdash it sometimes, which is kind of weird. I don't think that should be a thing, but honestly, Bed of Thorns being buffed, I still don't think it's that. I mean, it's useful in the corner. Don't get me wrong, it has a use. But at the same time, it still takes longer to get out than Nightshade. And it does less damage on hit than Nightshade does on chip. So it's honestly not worth the meter, because the regular version does little to no damage and has a lot of startup. And I saw a lot of videos of people playing Ivy and doing the seeds with Nightshade in the corner, and it's like, oh my gosh, this chip damage is so amazing. First, she did the same amount of chip damage before patch, so I don't get why. Well, maybe like a little bit more because they increased the damage on seeds, but at the same time she was doing just as much before, except without spamming her little meter burn thing. You actually had to be smart about playing Ivy in the corner for the chip damage at least. But yeah, I don't really think it's that useful, because throwing it out there, people can just dash through it or jump over it or air dash through it or just zone, but like, they're not good against zoners. No, they're only good against characters that have to get in. I still mainly use them for troll kills, honestly. I still don't find them as useful as, say, Aaron Black's little call traps and MKX. They're still not that amazing, sadly. But yeah, and they now take damage from jumping out of them, which is not that, honestly. Who's gonna jump? Well, some people actually do jump out of them, but it's still not like, it's not like Enchantress's jump hex where if you keep jumping or you down, like, you take a lot of damage from it. No, it's a one-time thing, honestly. So it's great, but I still think it's not that useful more than her other abilities. I still play like Ivy pre-pass because honestly, Anyway. And what else happened to Ivy? Oh yeah, her Nightshade no longer interrupting throws. I mean, it's a buff. Not gonna. So I see it. But her. I mean, it's a great thing. Yeah, she can make her grab now plus on her restand if Nightshade. If you time it right with Nightshade, it's now plus on restand instead of neutral. So that's a good thing. But at the same time, I've learned how to rearrange my combos around Nightshade to where either I grab in the middle of the gap so it makes it so it doesn't drop, or I just hard knockdown, or Nightshade goes away by the time the combo's done. So honestly, I don't the bug. Although it may be good for like conversions, it's still honestly I'm just so used to playing Ivy pre-patch that most of the stuff they gave her still doesn't matter to me, I guess. It really didn't help me in a matchup. Like, not matchup, but help me play better, I guess. I don't know. But at the same time, I just don't... Ivy, she really didn't move up in the tier list that much, honestly. Because although she may got a lot of buffs, I'm not gonna lie, there were a lot. But if you think about it, Gorilla Grodd also got quote buffs, but he's lower on the tier list. I don't get how NetherRealm does that. Either way, that does like numerous buffs doesn't mean a character can change up on the tier list. Like numerous nerfs on Catwoman didn't change her really on the tier list. I don't get why numerous buffs on Ivy all of a sudden made her top 5. Even like, and what most people don't get about Ivy is that her bad matchups is not because she's not plus or she can't punish things easier or she needed seeds or she needed people not to backdash her thing. The main reason why she lost to matchups is because she gets outzoned and there's no way for Ivy to get in. And it's kind of sad. Like she lost to Starfire, I believe she loses to Harley, she loses to Cyborg. Like all these zoners that are like heavily mobile, especially like Cyborg, who you have to keep chasing down and just take a lot of chip damage or get hit. And it's just like it's overwhelming for Ivy to get in and then possibly hit them back now because meter burn thing knocks them full screen. Or trying to get in on Dr. Fate. It's like I don't get how having a +7 move now all of a sudden changes that matchup to help her deal with zoning. Maybe if they still didn't even buff Barkskin with this anti-zoning move, that would have helped her in her matchups more than +7, honestly. So I don't get how that really changed her fighting against, per se, Dark Fate or Starfire. And I just don't know. Like, I don't want to be mean because I'm not a mean person unless you actually know me that I'm mean, but like, I guess I downplay. I get whatever. But honestly, I can make a whole video on how to counter Ivy and people would be shook because it's really not that hard because a lot of people do not know the Ivy matchup even though they claim to, because I see a lot of people losing to some Ivies in situations that they shouldn't lose at all. Like, at all, and it's not getting outplayed. Well, I guess you got outplayed because you didn't know the matchup, but at the same time, you don't know the matchup. Because some Ivies be doing some stuff that shouldn't. Like, and I guess because people think they played Ivy, that they know the matchup. I played Ivy since the game was released, and I still didn't know the Ivy matchup for the longest time because I never labbed it or what to do against Ivy with Ivy. So, I don't know. So honestly, if y'all want me to make a video, not the Ivy mains, if the Ivy mains won't want me to make a video about how to fight against Ivy, but honestly, it's probably the best thing to get Ivy to be buffed in the right way, because honestly, these buffs didn't help her in her matchups. I'm sorry to say, but it really didn't. Cause like, and people are gonna say, oh my gosh, you're downplaying. I honestly don't care because I thought Ivy was going to be top 10 too with all the buffs she was getting. I was screaming during the stream like, oh my gosh, she's going to be top 10 and all these people are going to play her. And then day one, I fought against a Starfire and I was like, how did this help her? It didn't. None of these buffs helped her. And a lot of people that she struggled against didn't get nerfed or nerfed hard enough. Hashtag Black Adam. So, honestly, oh yeah, and there's this little gameplay of me fighting against Ivy. Cause y'all always want to see my gameplay, but I don't really think I'm that good of an Ivy to be screaming at my gameplay.
Try a little tenderness. That wells
Update on Ivy. I'm sorry, I haven't been uploading a lot of Ivy videos just because I mainly play more Enchantress on Ivy, but I don't want to say that because I got my clout from Ivy, but at the same time, Ivy still is not that great of a she's still not that great on the tier list. Like, I don't know. Oh well. I think that's really the end of my little rant / discussion on where Ivy changed, I guess. But yeah. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of the gameplay with the second engine. But yeah, thank you for watching. Yeah.
Poison Ivy wins.